Hello everybody, I'm Matthew Brune from Mean Green 24/7, and today we're going to be looking at J.J. Murray and Rubin Jones and what they've meant to this North Texas team off the bench to help them achieve a 3-1 start in conference play. So if we let the play run, obviously J.J. and Rubin have been huge for this team on offense specifically, where the starting lineup has struggled, and Zach getting double is something we've seen a lot this year, right? And so J.J. spreading here, Rubin cuts through and clears to the corner, and Zach makes one of his patent excellent passes out. Rubin spots up, shoots it, doesn't make it, but again, this is why this play kind of exemplifies what these two are. JJ gets the rebound, Rubin repositions, drives, great fake pass, finds Reese for the three. It wasn't always like that though. Even as late as Loyola Chicago, the last non-conference game North Texas had, we see a lot of stagnation in this offense, especially even when Rubin and JJ were on the court. So if we let this play through for a second, as you can see, JJ Murray, Rubin Jones, both in the corners here, and neither one of them will do anything this entire possession, basically, right? So let me let it play through. As you can see, just very stagnant. This is late. This is the second half too, when North Texas starts needing buckets and they just can't get them. One thing that was clear for this team is when Rubin and JJ share the court with Javion, they need to be more involved. However, without Javion or with Javion off the ball, you can see Rubin kind of open up a little bit more. He showed flashes of what he can be here on plays like this in transition. Like, he is one of the most talented players on the team for a reason, and as a true freshman, he's been able to break onto the scene and have 11 points against UTEP in a game that we'll cover. So here's what Rubin Jones does on the ball, right? He is here in man-to-man defense. He comes and gets a stagger screen from Terrence and Drez, and he comes off of it, and this is something that he does very, very well. He is already shooting north of 35% from three this year, and as a result, he makes teams pay, right? So a little miscommunication here, whereas Javion and a lot of others on this team would drive it here. He's able to pull up and step into this shot with confidence, and the result is a 3 of 3 from three-point range in this game against UTEP. One thing North Texas has gotten a lot better at doing is involving Rubin and JJ in more of their offensive sets late in games, especially. Like, as you can see here, under 5 minutes left in the game, this is a set that North Texas runs a lot to get Javion this one-on-one pick and roll situation. A lot of times you would see an exchange here of the wings. So JJ drop, Reese come up, and maybe Rubin would cut. But instead, this is just presence of mind from JJ to understand that Bieniemy is attached to this corner pass, which Javion loves. Javion loves to drive here and kick to opposite corner. So instead, he understands that it's 2 guarding 1 here, and this is just a tremendously smart basketball play from JJ to get it, and then not only pump fake, but finish plus the foul. I mean, that's just what JJ Murray does for this team. On the inside especially, is give them a little bit more paint presence. And here's another example of that. Rubin Jones drives the lane, gets blocked on a shot, but then the ball comes out to JJ, and what does he do? Gives it back to Rubin. Rubin resets, gets a screen. Right here is where everybody else on the team shoots this three, basically, right? So, I mean, Drez, Reese, Rubin, all of them shoot this three. But it's what JJ does here that really makes him special, and that helps his team with. He's not doing anything spectacular here, right? But he's making the play that puts the defense in a compromising situation here. So pump fake, drive, pump, gets it up to the rim, and the mismatch that he created resulted in 2 points. I would also be remiss if I did not talk about this duo's defense. Like, we all know what JJ Murray does on the defensive side of the ball, but Rubin has been pretty solid himself whenever he's on the ball, especially. On ball, he's been a very solid defender. Off ball, I think he has lapses sometimes in losing his defenders, but he's improving with every game that he plays. So here, Rubin has switched on to Bryson Williams, obviously a much taller, stronger defender. But it doesn't matter. He works his way out in front of Bryson to where not to let him catch, and then Zach's would have to double. Instead, fights his way in front here, and then is smart enough to see that Zach is in position to help. And I'm sure Zach obviously called out switchback or whatever their code is for that, and he sprints over here to make a very impressive play, defending the ball very well. Then he gets a screen. Late in the clock is a switch. J.J. Murray takes over, forces a bad shot, and they get the rebound. This team is just always on a string on defense, and it's good to see Rubin really getting his feet under him on defense and really settling in, and he knows where to be now and what they need from him on defense. The last thing that I will say about these two players is that they are on the opposite ends of the spectrum, right? J.J. Murray is a redshirt senior that was a walk-on. Rubin Jones is a freshman who is the most highly touted freshman recruit in the Grant McCasland era. But both of them seem to have this knack of making big plays, right? Rubin Jones was a winner in high school. J.J. Murray was a winner at the junior college level in high school as well. And both of them are going to be pivotal for this team in winning a championship. And that was shown first to me on this play from JJ. Again, somebody who can make threes, but he wasn't someone to me that I thought this team would rely on to make plays. And he is doing that on both ends of the court. And Rubin, the same thing for him, for this team, is he provides a nice change of pace, a different ball handler, and something that this team needs, especially with Javion finding his footing right now. But this shot specifically just showed me that, all right, no moment is going to be too big for J.J. Murray. He is the guy who we hoped he would be when Grant McCasland threw him out there. I think it was against Arkansas, was his first big game, and we were like, okay, you're going to play J.J. And lo and behold, he's turned out to be better than any of us expected, and him and Rubin are going to be key players for this team for this year.